look at the moon and the stars. Just having the interest in doing the simple things in life. I didn't even realize there was that many stars until I started looking up at night.
Back when I was an addict, it was chaotic. Every day I'd wake up, my body would be hurting. I'd get up, try to find my next fix for the day, try to find some money, someone trade, anything. I'd even try to go and return stuff that I had just bought the day before, just because I needed something. And now I actually have money left in my pocket. I can buy stuff for my son and not have to feel guilty about having to take it back the next day. I wake up, I don't hurt nearly as bad. I still hurt, but that's other reasons, and just my days are fast. Life's too fast to just keep getting high every day and fall asleep. It really is. I don't even know why I did it anymore. I mean, the sun does shine every day, even when it snows.
So we are graduating Perry and Arturo, two individuals who have come at the beginning of the program and have done everything we've asked them and done extraordinary in that process.
The two graduating weren't the ones that I assumed that would graduate, and they did it. They surprised all of us.
Initially, I didn't know Perry, and once I got a look at his criminal history, my thoughts were he had no business in criminal drug court, given his prior record, and so I had some concerns about Perry to start out with.
I've just been knucklehead move after knucklehead move, trying to get by on the edges of the legal system and thinking that getting by is the easy way to do it. And I told Judge Mike that it's easier to comply than try to get by, and it has been. And that's all I can say about that, really. My history, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to make light of it because it's nothing to make light of, but it's just been a lot of knucklehead moves, drug interactions. I've been in and out of rehabs and detoxes since I was 21 years old. And, by the grace of God, I got 18 years sobriety from alcohol. But the drugs have been a harder thing because of prescriptions and whatnot. And I think I feel the best about it now than I ever have. I was driving a car down Craft Drive and got pulled over for not using a blinker. And I was on parole, and the person that was with me was on parole, and he was carrying drugs, and there was drugs under the seat of the car that I was in, and I wound up with a DF4 over that, and I was offered the chance to be in drug court, so I ran with it. And at first I didn't know if I could do it, but then I said, well, if anyone's going to do it, I'm going to do it, because who's going to benefit from it more than me? So that's what I did. I put my all into it, and I'm pretty much almost done.
He has a great sense of humor, but he does hold others accountable. He gives great advice. I see Perry not just as a probationer, but as a good friend.
Oh, they've given me support, immense support, and having people tell you that they believe in you is a big change for me. And to know, that they're there for you no matter what. If you need some financial help, if you need a pat on the back or a kick in the ass, they're there for you. And that's been the biggest thing.
He's come and he's not just stayed sober, he's not just done the program, but he's also been there for everyone else. And he's a pillar of the program. I don't know what to say other than that, is that he's raised other people up at the same time while keeping himself where he needed to be and accomplishing what I personally didn't think he could accomplish.
With his prior record, it was just, an individual that I just felt was going to struggle. But right now, he's the leader of the group.
Being a leader of drug court, well, I have people that message me about problems. That's a real awesome feeling, being a leader of drug court. How else do you lead by example, I guess, everybody in drug court's known me in the past and known me as being a knucklehead, and now they can say, wow, man, look at him. If he can do it, why can't I do it?
He's just basically stated he's made the decision to stay sober, and he followed through with that commitment that he made to himself.
This is long and tedious, but you know what? So isn't chasing after drugs. It's a daily thing. You wake up, it's the first thing that's on your mind. And if you can chase drugs, you can chase your sobriety. It's a choice, and I chose this.
Art was a handful because I had him on probation prior to going into drug court. I met him, he was struggling and with opiates, and his whole excuse for the opiate was that he had a serious back injury and needed the prescription opiates of his doctor. When he kept providing me medical documentation, then it was obvious that he was using heroin on a regular basis and opiate pills whenever he come across them.
Art was a drug addict for 8 years and did it continuously for 8 years. Let's see, it started off with pills, then went to heroin. Since then, it was up until about 500 days ago that I was doing drugs.
He struggled. He couldn't stop on his own. He begged for the methadone clinic as being part of their program, and he and I staffed the matter, and I basically advised him that I wasn't going to recommend that or allow that because he's never done treatment in his life. In fact, this is the first time he's ever been in trouble in his life, I think. He has nothing as far as a criminal record.
My case was distribution of narcotics, and got a DF4 for that. That's what led me into drug court pretty much, because I was still using when I got on probation. Didn't comply with what Teddy kept asking me to just stay clean. And then I ended up going to rehab in Pueblo for 21 days. Then rehab down in Alamosa for 91 days. And then that's what actually led me to actually wanting to get clean, was staying in rehab.
So I told him we're going to try outpatient first before we even looked at the methadone clinic. He struggled with outpatient, continued to use. We put him through the STIRT program in Pueblo, which is 21 days, awaiting the 90-day ERT program. He excelled at the 21-day, trying to convince me that he was fixed and didn't need the 90-day. At that time, we had screened him for drug court. He was accepted upon completion of the 90-day ERT, and once again, he was very, very successful there. And he just came out with the attitude that, again, he was done, he wanted to change, and never once had a positive UA. He made that commitment to change, and he followed through.
You know, much the same as Perry, he's never looked back. I think he's one of those that has set a goal for himself to prove, not just to himself, but to prove to others that he could do what he needed to do. And he has flown through this program just like Perry. Absolutely exceptional performance. Never a question that he was going to accomplish what he set to accomplish.
It showed me that I could be an example for everybody else, to just help them try to stay sober, or be a mentor, kind of just do whatever I can to help someone else. It's helping other people that made me want to stay sober more. I think what helped me be successful was the people I surround myself with every single day. The drug court team itself, mental health, even though at first I was iffy on them and we would argue back and forth, but they were really helpful. The classes were boring, but I think the repetition's what's needed to get it through your brain, because if you don't, then you're just going to go and screw up again if you don't pay attention and listen and get it through your head. Free time I've been spending with my son for basketball practice. Saturdays he had basketball. This weekend he's out in Texas, so he didn't get to do his tournament. Starting next week, I think we're doing wrestling, so I do that. Gonna go to his practices twice a week and then tournaments on the Saturdays. And my days are just filled with keeping my hands busy, working on cars, trying to make money.
There's times that art, jokes around, but I do see the serious and serious side of him. He has a huge heart. He would do anything for anybody in drug court. He's just that type of person.
Treated as kind of a family situation, that we're all family. The team, the members, the participants, we're a family, and we look out for one another and we support one another. And so it's kind of a more touchy-feely environment, and if you know me and you know how I approach court, I'm not very touchy-feely. So it was requiring me to take a completely different approach to my perspective of the drug court and what's necessary to be successful.
I got family back in my life that I didn't have for years and years.
Who's this?
It's my cousin Pete.
Hello. How is it, Pete, having Perry live back with you and back in your life?
You don't want me to be honest about that,
Yes, we do.
No, it's great. We've been, it's when we were kids, we grew up together. I mean, as literally, I was there when he was born. I'm just a little bit over a year older than him, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool having him back after 20 years, almost 20 years I hadn't seen him. Be honest with you, yeah. From the last time I seen him, because I've been coming out for the past, I don't know, 5-6 years, and seeing him, and yeah, drastic change from the first time I seen him to now. Yeah, a lot clearer in the head, more focused on what he's doing. Yeah, definitely, without question.